it says,
This meeting is being recorded.
let me see. It says, what do they want to know? They want to know x-intercept, the slope. Okay. Well, okay. All right. So let me, a lot of teachers explain this a little different, right? So I'm going to try to explain as easy as I can. So the x-intercept, right? And the y-intercept. Okay, let's go by, we know what the y-intercept is. Can somebody tell me what the y-intercept is? Can somebody tell me what the y-intercept is? Can somebody tell me what the y-intercept is?
X2. Oh.
Yeah, it is 2. But what is the definition of the y-intercept?
Y equals mx plus b.
That's true, but what is the definition? Like, what does it mean?
Okay, the definition of it.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, because evidently, if it didn't come right away, that means people are unsure, don't know. So the y-intercept is where your line crosses the y-axis.
The y-axis. Okay, right.
Okay, so the y-intercept. So if I drew a graph here, and I got 1, 2, and I just draw a line here, right? If you notice, at this point, and this is very important for you to understand. Let me change the color a little bit. Let me get a dot. It crosses the y-axis right there. Everybody understand that?
Yes.
But if you understand that, you'll know that x is 0.
Yeah.
So where the y-intercept, where the line crosses the y-axis, right, is your y-intercept, but it's also where x is equal to 0. Okay, so for example, in this example, you put 0 here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna draw another table.
Okay.
I'm gonna put x is 0. Matter of fact, that blue is not working. I don't like that blue. I can't see it. So let me change it back to red. I'm gonna draw another table. And remember, these tables don't mean anything, right? You can make any numbers you want, right? So I'm just gonna plug these numbers in. So I'll put a 0 here. This is y equal 0 plus 2, which is 2, right? So this is 0, 2. If I put x is 1, all you doing is substituting the 1 right there. Y equal 1 plus 2, which is 3.
Okay.
If I put a 2 there, I'm gonna put a 2 instead. Y equal 2 plus 2, which is 4.
Yeah.
So now, what I did was I tried to make it easy. So what I explained to you was, first of all,
3 plus 2 is 5.
So if I got y equal mx plus b, what I tried to do was make it easy for you. So right away, if I got y equal mx plus b, and I got y equal x plus 2, that tells me my slope is what?
That's gonna be
1 over 2?
No.
No.
Your slope is
1. If
1.
it's x.
Oh, because all you doing is whatever's in front of the x. What most people get confused is, well, there's no number in front of the x. There is a number. You just don't see it, because anything times 1 is itself. So your slope is 1. What I also told you was b, which is the second part of this. So this is your b. Your y-intercept is 2. So on this question right here, your slope is 1. Your y-intercept is 2.
Yeah.
So now you got to figure out what your x-intercept is. First of all, on the GED, they're not going to ask you for your x-intercept. They're not. But I'm going to answer the question for you. So let's go with what we know. Remember, math, if you learned anything from me in classes, always start with, if the y-intercept is where x equals 0, what is the x-intercept going to be?
0.
It's gonna be 0 too.
No, listen to my definition. Let me, first of all, let me save this and let me clear it, right? If the y-intercept, right, is where x is equal to 0, what's the y-intercept? If the y-intercept is where x equals 0, what's the y-intercept going to be?
Well, I don't understand why that's 0 too.
What's going to be 0 though?
The x-intercept.
X and a Y is 2.
So okay, so let me say it.
Okay, so
Let me
we
say
have
let,
Y.
let me type it out so we might. So the y-intercept. Let me put the definition. Y-intercept. Okay. Now I need you to and this is what you know what's very important. The y-intercept.
Starts at 0. Okay. And then you got the x coming this way. You got y up here and x right here.
Let me move this over so we can see it. So look at that definition. The y-intercept is the location on the coordinate grid where x equals 0, right? So let me draw it for you again. So you had a graph, 1, 2, line crosses right there. So this location is 0, 2.
So
But what
gotta
you
be
notice
2.
is every ordered pair is x, y. What I said was, okay, the slope is 1, the y-intercept is 2. But the location, the ordered pair is 0, 2. So what you should deduce from that, if the y-intercept is the location on the coordinate grid where x
So it's
equals
gonna
0,
be 2,
the
0.
x-intercept is the location where y equals 0. So your x-intercept is, so listen to the definition. The y-intercept, intercept means to cross. So if the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis, the x-intercept is where the line crosses the x-axis, which is right here.
Let me
So
look at
this point right here is your x-intercept. Why? Because this is your x-axis.
Yeah,
This is your y-axis.
yeah.
So again, look at the words. X-intercept. Intercept means to cross. So y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. The x-intercept is where the line crosses the x-axis. But again, where's that pair? So that pair, so what we know about the y-intercept is that, remember, all ordered pairs should be
Two
in
numbers.
parentheses,
Yeah.
right? So your y-intercept is 0, 2 or plus 2 on the y-axis, right?
Right.
Your x-intercept is going to switch. It's where your y is equal to 0. So your y is
It's
0.
2.
Okay.
The y is
So if
okay.
we plug the y as 0, we're going to have 0 equal x plus 2.
2. Right.
Oh,
Now, to get x by itself, we got to subtract 2 from both
2.
sides.
Right.
okay.
So I'm running out of room here, but we're going to get x equal minus 2. So your x-intercept is minus 2, 0.
0.
Oh,
So if you needed to graph this,
Wow.
this would be negative 2, 0, and this would be 0, 2. So one of the ways that you can graph a line is if you know the x-intercept and y-intercept. But don't worry. Don't worry. Watch this. Don't worry. I got something for you. Watch this. I got something for you. I don't really go deep in the x and y intercept because the GED really doesn't ask you a lot for the x-intercept. What it wants to know is, do you know the slope? Do you know the y-intercept? Can you graph? But since you asked, again, I want you to go back in your class tomorrow and you know every single answer. Watch this. Let me show you something. Because why? Building confidence in math is very important. That's one of the biggest hurdles most people need to do. Watch this. And this is on my review sheet. I just really don't go over it, but it's there. Watch this. Look at that example right there. Number 23. X-intercept is negative 2. Y-intercept is negative 2. So again, you go by definition. The y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis.
Yeah, right there.
The x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis.
right there.
How many points do you need to make a line?
2.
Do I have 2?
Yes.
Done.
Wow.
So it's 0, negative 2.
So if you had to graph this as a table, remember one thing I want to show you is what you should be connecting the dots with is a table is ordered pair. So if my y-intercept is so x, y. So my y-intercept is -2. So 0 minus 2. My x-intercept is -2. So that's 0 minus 2. There go your 2 points. That's simple. That's simple.
Thank you, Mr. Tinsley.
So what happens a lot of times, teachers don't make it that simple. They make it difficult. But the simple thing is understanding the vocabulary. If y-intercept means where the line crosses the y-axis, the x-intercept is going to be where it crosses the x-axis. But what you also notice is where did it cross the axis at? So when I cross the y-axis, my x is 0. Where it crosses the x-axis, my y is 0. So when you're in school, that's the first 2 points that most teachers tell you to graph. When x is 0, y is 0. Plug those 2 points, the x-intercept and y-intercept. But on the GED, you really don't see x-intercept. They only do y-intercept in slope. So this is why I give a problem like this, where you say, okay, this is slope-intercept form. My slope is 1/4. My y-intercept is -4. So what you should be doing, hold on, let me clear it real quick because I didn't have enough room. But when you see problems like these, you should be able to do these within 3 minutes. You should be able to say, okay, this is slope-intercept form. My slope is 1/4. My y-intercept is -4. My first point that I'm going to graph is my y-intercept, which is -4.
Yeah.
To get my second point, I got to use my slope. Well, my slope is 1/4. So since my slope is 1/4, that's rise over run. So to get my second point, I have to go up 1
and over 4.
and over 4. So now I have my second point. I'm going to change this back to red. And then how many points do I need to make a line?
2.
2. There's my 2 points. I'm a little off drawing that, but let me make it correct. Okay. Now, are they going to ask you to graph? No, they're not going to ask you to graph. What they're going to do is they're going to give you an equation of line and you got to select the graph. Okay. Again, but be able to identify what the slope is and what the y-intercept is. You should be able to do in like, I don't like either one of these. I'll do 31 just so you'll see everything what I'm talking about. I don't really like any of these, but because you're not going to have, they're going to be. So right here. So what I noticed right here, remember what I always say, any math question, start with what you know. So right now I know the slope is positive.
Yeah.
Why? Because from left to right, it is going up. So when I look at this graph, from left to right, it is going up. That's a positive slope. That's the first thing I know. The second thing I know, my y-intercept, right there, where the line crosses the y-axis. So I'm looking at this and make sure I don't see 1, 2, 3, 4, but I notice it's showing even numbers. So I'm just make sure 1, 2, 3. So my y-intercept is
3.
Okay, so I already have 1 point, my y-intercept. Always use your y-intercept as 1 point. Then I can use any other point. I can use this one if I want it. This is my x-intercept. So this is my y-intercept. This is my x-intercept, where it crosses the x-axis. Now, rise over run. Now, I wouldn't have picked those 2 points, but I just wanted to show you so you understand. Watch this. So from left to right, I'm going to use my leftmost point. Rise over run. 1, 2, 3. Had to go up 3. My run. 1, 2, 3. So my rise is 3. My run is 3. 3 over 3 is equal to 1. So my slope is 1. My y-intercept is +3. My equation is y equal 1x plus 3. Do I need that 1 in front of the x?
No.
No. So eventually, or what you're going to define the equation is y equal x plus 3. That's how easy you should be able to go from a graph to an equation. If you can't, you practice. You practice. Because remember I told you linear equations are 7 to 10 problems on your exam. 7 to 10. 7 to 10 questions. That's why most people, if you look on your practice test, you'll probably see slope, linear equations, coordinate plane. If you see 3 to 4, 5 problems, that means that's the area you need to study the most. That's going to get you over the hump to pass this exam. Point blank. All right. Any other questions people been working on this week? Now, Brandy, I thought you said you had a couple, Brandy.
I did.
Oh, hold on. Let's practice with this. Let's practice with one more. We really can't see it, but we're gonna do it, right? So let's look at it. So this is slope intercept. Oops, let me. I'm sorry. Let me do that red. Y equal. This is slope intercept form because we see y equal.
Yeah.
That's what tells you slope. So y equal mx plus b. What's my slope?
2.
Nope.
-2.
-2.
Sorry.
Listen, I don't have to do all that table stuff. I done told you the shortcut way to find the slope in the y-intercept. What's my y-intercept?
-4.
That you already got it. You don't even need to do your table values. You know your slope and y-intercept. You don't even need to do all that. Now, if they ask you for the x-intercept, this is what you do. You say, okay, the x-intercept is where y is equal to 0. So the x-intercept is where y equal to 0. So I just plug that 0 in. 0 equal -2x minus 4. And then this is a simple 2-step algebraic equation. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. I get 4 equal -2x. Again, this is a simple 1-step equation. In order to get x by itself, I need to divide by -2. And we get x equal -2. I'm running out of room here. I apologize.
Yes, you are.
So your first point is going to be x. I'm just x and y. My first point is going to be -2, 0.
Yeah.
That's my x-intercept. My y-intercept is where x equals 0. Boom. That's easy. -2 times 0. But we already know the y-intercept. There's no math to do. I already told you what it is. -4. Done. Use those 2 points to graph your line. Like, I don't even, like, the reason why she has the table of values because she just wants you to get practice to understand. This is another 2 words let me give you right here. This is very important for you to understand. X is your independent variable. You'll need that on the science. Your Y is your dependent variable. What that means is I need to know X before I can figure out Y. Okay, so you're gonna need that in your science exam. This is why X, for the most part, is always your first variable that's given here. So your independent is your X, dependent is Y. So when I plug in X, I know what Y is. Got me?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you are so welcome. Now now this whole worksheet should be easy for you.
Oh yeah, I'm going back over this one.
Like right here, I already know slope is 1, y-intercept 2. I don't got no work to do.
That's it.
That's it. For the GED, that's all you need to be able to find a slope and a y-intercept from slope-intercept form. You don't even need to know x-intercept. I haven't seen x-intercept, and I've been doing this since 2015. I haven't seen x-intercept. Now, in your class, right, you may need to know it because what happens is your teacher is going to go make sure you know all the concepts. But again, that vocabulary, the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. The x-intercept is where the line crosses the x-axis.
Thank you.
Judy, it looked like you got a question, Judy.
I'm just listening.
You good? You good?
I'm good. Just
Okay,
listening.
good. Okay, so this is if anybody wants this is a review packet. I got 3 of these. I downloaded these from QUIZIZZ. Okay, that's also a link on Schoology. But what happens is this review goes over, can you find a slope from a graph?
Okay.
Can you find a slope from an equation? Can you find a slope from 2 points? Can you find a slope of a parallel line? Can you find a slope of a perpendicular line? Can you graph given an equation in slope-intercept form? Can you graph given an x-intercept and y-intercept? Can you graph given standard form? Can you find an equation of a line from a graph? Can you find a slope from standard form? Again, this is just, can you make an equation knowing if they gave you a word problem, says that slope is -10 and your y-intercept is -5, that's y equal minus 10x minus 5. Why? Because we know m is the slope, b is the y-intercept. You should be able to do that also. Again, so this is I found this review and I downloaded it because this is to find the equation of a line from a point in the slope, which is guaranteed. How to find the equation of a line from 2 points. And how do you find the equation of a line of a parallel line given a point in an equation? And how do you find the equation of a line of a perpendicular line, a line that's perpendicular given a point in an equation? Listen, just from this review sheet, remember I told you 7 to 10 questions. 7 to 10 questions. This is why, even though this is a long sheet and a lot of problems, if you're going to focus on an area on your exam, linear equations is probably, if you look at your practice test, you probably missed 3, 4, or 5 questions just from linear equations. And if you got a 141, 142, 143, 144, that's what probably put you over. Now, I'm not saying don't study anything else. I'm just saying this is the area most people need the most. All right, what's another question that people, a concept or a question that people had during the week? I had one. If you don't, where is it? Oh, this is a wonderful. Let me show you this. Somebody took an exam. Took a Schoology test, right? And it's a system of equations. Now, matter of fact, let me show the actual question because then you won't have the answer.
Okay.
Let me go to the question and let me see. That was so you see all these questions I have. You can guess all that. So that was some pears and apples or something like that. Pears and apples. Pears and apples. Come on. Let me do this. Let me just be smart. Let me do a Control F and go apple. Let me see if there we go. See, that's what you got to. Sometimes you just got to be smart. Now, so when I looked at this this problem over the weekend, 4 people took this answered this took this quiz but answered this question incorrect.
What to say?
Is that too small for people to see, or do I need to make it a little bigger?
Just a little bit.
Okay, so we won't be able to see all the answers, right? But let's go through. This is a system of equations. So it says a merchant at the farmer's market sells fruit. If the cost of 5 pears and 6 apples is $6.75, and the cost of 8 pears and 3 apples is $7.25, which system can be used to determine the price? Oh my goodness, what did I do? No wonder everybody got it wrong. I don't even have the right fruits up here.
Oh my goodness.
See, I'm a chip man. Let me change this right now. Let me change this right now. See, everybody makes mistakes. See? So what happens is in my travels, when I see a question that I like, I might grab it, but what I'll do is I'll change it a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? So that's what I did here. So let's look at this. So which system can be used to determine the price of 1 pear and 1 apple? So let's look at A. So let me ask you a question. Let's see if we can figure this out together. If I'm solving a system of equations, what is the first thing I should do?
Identify what you know.
Yeah,
identify what you know. What do we know?
The cost of 5 pears and 6 apples is $6.75.
Perfect. What else do we know?
And the cost of 8 pears and 3 apples, I can't see the rest because I'm on my phone.
It's $7.25.
It's 7.25.
Okay. So and what do they want to know? They want to know the price of 1 pear and 1 apple.
1 pear
right?
and 1.
Okay. So now to solve this, And a system of equations is you need to make two equations. So is this A, can this be right? X plus Y equal 11 and 8X plus 3Y equal 1425. How do I know where to start? The second most important thing you must do, even though you identified your given, what you almost say is you got to identify your variables. When you're working with a system of equations, you need to identify your variables. So my X is going to be my pairs,
And yeah.
and my Y is going to be my apples.
Right, okay.
So once you define your variables, does this system of equations make sense? And somebody tell me why or why not. So let me ask you a question. Is that correct? X equal pairs and Y equal apples?
Oh, you're talking about two different things.
No, it's
But-
not the
but-
same.
But what I'm saying is, should
Okay.
X equal the number of pairs and Y equal the number of apples?
Yes.
No.
Why you can't add them together? I don't know.
This is why, and this is the mistake that people make. If you
Okay.
said X was pairs and Y was apples, you could use X plus Y equal 11 because you got 5 pairs, 6 apples, that's 11 fruit. You got 8 pairs and 3 apples. But X can't be the pairs, the number of pairs. X
Has to be the cost of
is
what
the
it is.
cost of the pairs, and Y is the cost of each apple,
Right,
not the
okay.
number of apples.
Okay. The
So
cost
now
is
we know
675.
this can't be A because we can't have the cost of an apple and a pear equal $11. That doesn't make
No.
sense. So now we know it's not A. Okay. So now let's move down to B.
I think that's something I can't see. Oh, I can't see the answers.
Oh,
That's
so
why.
I can't move down to B. So
Don't worry about
let's make the two equations. Which is the first? If X stands for the cost of the pairs and Y stands for the cost of my apples, how can I change these words in this problem to an equation? And how can I change this given into an equation? What should my first equation be?
I have no idea. Could be 675X. Okay.
Nope.
No, okay.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a
Never
question.
mind. Okay.
If a pair costs $1,
What about divide?
If a pair costs $1,
Yeah.
how much does 5 pairs cost?
$5.
Okay. If a pair costs 50 cents, how much does 5 pairs cost?
You got what he said, wait a minute. He said if it
10.
costs 50 times.
If a pair costs 50 cents, how much does
Right.
5 cost?
It costs $2.50.
$2.50. How did you do that?
You times it.
Okay, so you multiply. So you multiply the number of pairs that you have
Okay, so did you
times
do
the
it like-
price. So
Right.
if I have 5 pairs and 6 apples cost $6.75, and X is the cost of my pairs, and
So you
Y is the
find those
cost of my
times-
apples. Say that again.
I was gonna say 5 times the 675.
So 5 times 675. Why did you multiply 5 times
Okay.
675? So remember, let's rewind. What did I just say? You
Okay.
know the price
If
of the
one-
pairs, you multiply it by how many you have.
So
Well, we
why
don't-
can't you?
So
Okay.
what is our price of each pair?
It's 6. Okay, no, that's for 5 pears and 6 apples.
What is the
$6.75.
price of each pair?
The price of each pair is.
You have to divide that to find that
Right.
out.
No, you don't. What's the price
No.
of each pair? We don't know.
We don't,
Right.
it's us.
We
Yeah.
don't know the price of each pair. We don't know the price of an apple. It is an unknown. And that's why we gave them variables. So 5 pairs will be 5x plus
Plus
6y
6X.
equals
6Y.
675.
Okay. Okay.
So
So that
5 times the cost of the pear plus 6 times the cost of the apples is 675.
Mhm.
Everybody understand that?
Mhm.
What's my second equation going to be?
Okay, you're gonna have 8X
8X
plus 3x equals, is it the same price? I can't
8x
see
plus
it.
3x.
Yeah.
Y.
I mean, 3y,
3y.
I mean,
3y
yeah, I'm sorry.
equal how much?
725.
Those are your two equations that you would need to set up this system of equations. So when you're doing
This is
system of
7y.
equations, identify what your variables are standing for,
I can't see.
and then use your words in that problem to get your equation. So 5 pears and 6 apples. So remember, the cost of something. In order for you to know the cost of 5 pears, you got to do multiplication. That's what 5x means. 5 times x, where
Yeah,
x is the cost of the pears. Everybody understand that?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. So actually, I don't think one person got that problem right, but that's a tough problem, though. You know, it's nothing to be ashamed about. That was a
I'm
tough
not.
problem. Oh, you got that wrong?
No, I didn't even do it, but I'm not ashamed. I
Oh,
didn't get it right.
Okay. I would have been stuck here all day with that.
I was stuck.
okay. So I'm gonna do something real quick. This
Okay.
is a quiz I just made up, or questions I just made up. I don't think I've added a
Okay, so-
quiz yet. I don't think I made a quiz given these questions, right? So what I want to know is,
Okay.
hold on. And I haven't added this to a quiz yet. What I want to know is what type of equation is each? So
Oh,
is
you-
it slope-intercept form? Is it standard form, or is it neither? So when we
Okay.
talk about 2x plus 5y equals 15, is that standard form, slope-intercept form, or neither?
Standard.
Standard.
Yeah.
So again, I didn't make this quiz yet, so I will. You will see it soon. Okay. Y equals 7/8 x minus 3. Oops.
That's
You
slope.
said standard, didn't you?
Right?
The
Yeah,
first one
it's
is
that
slope.
one. The next one is slope intercept form.
See, everybody make mistakes. Everybody make mistakes. Standard form. Okay.
Okay.
So remember, because standard form, again,
It's 2x
ax
plus
plus
by
by equals c.
C. Mhm.
Slope-intercept form, y equal mx plus b. Every time that you see a linear equation problem, you should be saying these things out loud.
Yep.
So when you see standard form, you know it's standard form. When you see slope-intercept form, you know it's slope-intercept form. How about this next one? Y equal negative 0.02. Oh, y equal negative 0.002 x plus 1.3. Is that slope-intercept form, standard form, or neither?
Slope. That's slope.
Slope.
That's all.
Slope-intercept form.
Yeah, it's still slope. Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether decimal, fractions,
It's
whole
still
numbers.
slope.
It's y equal mx plus b. It's
Plus
not
C.
slope. It's
Slope
slope-intercept form.
intercept form.
Let's make sure we say the right thing, because we don't want to
Okay.
get confused. It's slope-intercept form. How about minus 7x plus 3y equal minus 9?
That's standard.
form.
That's standard form. Good. Now, so we got that. Let me try to
Slope
find, how about this one here? 3x minus 4y minus 24. Is that
What is that?
slope-intercept form?
Quadratic?
Is it standard form, or is it neither?
It's neither one of them.
Either one.
Neither. Now, what happens if you have a problem like this? What happens if they give you a problem like this? Okay, so now if
Ain't
it's
that
not slope-intercept form or standard form, this is what you have to remember, and this is where people get stuck. Remember, again, I don't want you remembering math. I want you to know the math.
That's
So
what
you're
it is.
given standard form or slope-intercept form, you should be able to identify those quickly. But that doesn't mean you can't change this equation to standard form. So matter of fact, let me go to Adobe real quick and go to a blank page,
Okay, so you got
because I really need you to understand, because a lot of people have problems with equations like this. Okay, this is neither slope-intercept form or standard form. But this is what you must realize. I can change it to either one. I can change it to either one. Watch this. So if I have 3x minus 4y minus 24 equals 0, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 24 to both sides. Once I add 24 to both sides, I got 3x minus 4y equal 24. Now, what form is this in?
Standard.
Standard. Don't get intimidated because you haven't seen that type of equation. Just change it to the type of equation you want it to be. Hold on, Mr. Tenzi. So how can I change this to slope-intercept form? Yes, every linear equation can be changed to different forms. That's like $1 can be changed into 4 quarters. 4 quarters can be changed into 10 dimes. 10 dimes can be changed into 100 pennies. 100 pennies can be changed to a $1 bill. Remember, this is different forms. So let me change my color. 3x minus 4y minus 24 equals 0. So slope-intercept form just means I need to get the y by itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides.
Yeah.
And then those 3x's are going to cancel. I'm going to get minus 4y equal, oops, I forgot to put the minus 24. Minus 24 equal minus 3x. Now, again, y is not by itself, so I need to add 24 to both sides. And I get minus 4y, 24 is canceled, equal minus 3x plus 24. The y is still not by itself. I need to divide by -4. Since these are not like terms, I need to divide each term by -4.
By -4, yeah.
The -4 cancel. I got to move over here. I apologize. Y equal a negative over a negative make a positive. And a positive over negative make a negative. So to change that equation that wasn't in standard form, it wasn't in slope-intercept form. What I did was I changed it to slope-intercept form. So my slope is 3/4. My y-intercept is -6. Now, let's go back to standard form. Let's see if we get the same thing. So my slope is minus a over b.
That's how I did it.
-3 over -4. -3 over -4 is 3/4. Did we get the same exact slope? To get my y-intercept, I'm running out of room here. I apologize. B equal 24 over -4, which is -6. Did we get the same y-intercept?
Yes.
Again, do not be intimidated. You should be able to identify slope-intercept. You should be able to identify standard form. But if it's not in either, you should be able to manipulate it to put it in the form that's easiest for you. So now, I heard somebody say when they saw this problem, so let me erase some things on the screen real quick, because what I heard, and my ears are very good. My eyes might not be as good as they used to be, but my ears are pretty good. Now, my wife doesn't agree with me because she says when she's talking, I can't hear her. But anyway, let's not get into that. But I think I'm a comedian. But anyway, but let's watch this. What I heard somebody say is, that's not a linear equation, that's quadratic. No.
No, I'm wrong.
Know what a linear equation and quadratic equation is.
It's different.
A linear equation, the highest degree is 1.
I was right.
The highest degree in this equation is 1. So this is 3x to the first power minus 4y to the first power minus 24. Since the highest degree is 1, this is a linear equation.
Right.
And the quadratic is the x to,
to the second power.
Yes.
So this is what tells you. This is what makes this quadratic. Everybody understand that?
Yes.
Boy, we learn something new every day. How Kevin's heart say, you gonna learn today. It's like, no, let me
Yep. And
I tell you, I think I'm funny. Please.
That's okay.
All right. So again, it's very important when you're in Schoology, okay? Again, I didn't make a new quiz with this yet. These are new questions that I make up every single day. I'm making up new questions every single day. So like 6 months from now, it might be 20 practice exams. But what I need you to understand, This is, once you understand the concept, this is where I need you. Practice tests and additional practice problems. I need you practicing till you score at least a 75 to 80 on each quiz, on all of them. But some of them are easy. Square, square roots, cube, cube roots, simplifying radicals, Pythagorean theorem. Now, did you hear me say you can't use your calculator? No, you can use your calculator. Okay, so I made it. You have a new functions quiz. You have another quadratics equation quiz. You have another inequalities quiz. You have another exponents quiz.
Okay.
So you have a bunch of different information, a bunch of different assessments to see what you know, and you can use your calculator. Now, this is what I need you to remember. 55 to 58%. That's what you need to pass the GED. Hold on, Mr. Tinsley. You telling me that's all we need. So if you're talking about 40 questions, okay, if you're talking about 40 questions on the exam, usually between 40 and 46. And the reason why they use those other 6 questions, they use those for other GED exams, but they usually only grade 40 questions. So at 40, what's half of 40?
20.
If each question is 2.5 points, right? How did I do that? Because 100 divided by 40 is 2.5. So if I need a 55, that means I would need additional 2 questions.
Yeah.
I would need 22 questions. If I need a 58, I would need another one. One would give me a 57.5. So let's give it another 2 questions. So let's do. So what you should be thinking, if I have 40 questions on my GED math exam, if you already know going in how many you need, it takes pressure off of you. Because now on those harder questions that you skip and flag for review, you don't have to worry about as much because you know in your head, we need 22 to 24. Mr. Tinsley. So now when you're taking these practice tests, you should be thinking a half plus 4 questions. So if there's 46 questions, 23 plus 4, I need 27 to be comfortable. If there's 40 exams, I need 20 plus 4 to feel comfortable.
Okay.
But that's what you should be thinking. Why am I saying that? Is because most people don't pass the GED math exam because they don't finish. But if you know you only need 20, now, okay, or 24, right? Now, I get the first 5 right because Mr. Tinsley said, I'm not going to listen to all these other educators that say don't worry about the first 5.
Yes, you do.
That makes no sense to me at all. That is not a math teacher that tells you basic math, don't worry about the first 5. So if anybody in any class tells you don't worry about the first 5, I will be very wary to listen to them. That makes no sense to me. And I'm not trying to be critical of anybody else. But let me ask you a question. And this is just common sense. If you're taking a test and you get the first 5 right, how are you feeling after you get the first 5 right?
Good.
Good.
Better, yeah.
What happens if you get the first 5 wrong? What are you doing now?
You're going to be cast down. You're going to like,
First
oh,
of all,
God.
you're going to be nervous. You're going to be anxious. You're going to be frustrated. I can't even answer the first 5 right. Now your whole mindset is changed. We want to start off. That's why in racing, and if track and field, they tell you you want to have a good start, right? That's what they tell you, right?
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean you're going to win, but they want. That's why your coaches work on having that good start. Come out those blocks fast. You want to start well, because if you get those first 5 right, now let's just do simple math. I'm a math person, so if it's 24 questions that I need to get right, and I knock the first 5 out, that means I only need 19 out of 35.
Yep.
Now, if every question is easy, medium, and hard, so that's 6, 6, and 6.
That's 24, 18.
Right? Now, okay, so now, if I just do the easy and medium questions, if I get all of them right, how many is that?
That's 18 right there. If you call my
No,
6,
no,
6,
just the easy and medium. Just the easy and medium.
That's 12.
That's
12.
12, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, so you only need 24 right. You got 5 right in the first 5. The easy and mediums, you got 12 right, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now that means you need 7 out of the remaining questions. Now let's do the math. 45. So say, oops, let's start at 40. Let's say 40 questions. So 40 out of the first 5, it's 35 questions left. Take away that 12 that you got right for the easy and medium. That's 23 questions left. That means you only need a couple. You only need a little. So we got that's 17. We said 24. That's 7 more questions out of the last 23 questions. You only need 7 more questions correct out of the last 23 questions. That's what's going to happen is you're going to feel so much better about yourself because you're going to say, this, I can do, I think I can do this. And listen, quadratic equations, evaluating the algebraic expression, evaluating the function, your linear equations, your algebraic expressions, volume, area, and ratio and proportions. That's your that's passing right there. In your first 5. That's your passing right there. That's how simple it is. So what I'm telling you to do is practice. I got every area on this GED.
I need quadratic.
Everything. There goes quadratic equations right there. I got 2 of them now. So if you go here and you click on quadratic equations, watch this. I'm going to show you because now it's not, watch this. So I'm going to go to preview. Because if you practice enough, what happens is these questions you should be able to do in less than a minute to 2 minutes. Every question. Why? Because I'm giving you easy, medium, and difficult problems all through Schoology. Let's look at this right here. Now, 2 people got this wrong over the weekend. X squared minus 5x minus 24. How do I solve this? Well, I don't know. Well, there's 2 ways you can do it. First of all, you can do it my way and say ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So my a is 1, my b is -5, my c is -24. If a is 1, Mr. Tinsley told me to find a factor pair of -24.
Yeah.
What pairs do I need to multiply to get -24? So I'm gonna go in order. 1 times -24, 2 times -12,
Yeah.
3 times -8,
Yeah.
4 times -6. 5
Yeah.
doesn't go into 24, 6 goes into 24, but I already have 6 there. On the other side, I'm reversing the signs. So instead of 1 and -24, I'm gonna have -1 and 24. I'm gonna have -2 and 12.
You're gonna have to
I'm gonna have -3 and 8. I'm gonna have -4 and 6. Mr. Tinsley showed me how to do this. Said, what pair is gonna give me B? What pair is gonna give me -5? The pair that's gonna give me -5, because 3 minus 8 is -5.
-3 and 8, yeah.
So to factor this, I'm gonna use these 2 numbers. X plus 3, X minus 8. This is factor, but they're asking me to solve it. They're not asking me to factor it. They're asking me to solve it. So to solve it, I need to find the zeros. So the opposite of +3
is -3.
Opposite of -8
is +8.
So that's how you solve a quadratic equation. Now,
Okay.
took 2.5 minutes,
Yeah.
right? It took 2.5 minutes, right?
You could do this with the calculator, right?
If you bought my ebook,
you could do it with the calculator.
if you bought my ebook, this is a 30-second problem. Let me open up my calculator. Let me show you how fast this problem is. It's literally, again, I'm trying to show you the easiest way to pass this exam. But do I want you to know how to do it mathematically or algebraically? Yes, I do. But once you understand it, watch this. Let me clear everything out so you can see how fast this is. Watch this. Okay, so I have multiple choice. I have all my answers. So you know what? I'm going to do -3. -3 store x squared minus 5x minus 24. Did I get 0? Yes, I did. So I know -3 is a solution. So I know it can't be B. I know it can't be C. I know it can't be D. I'm done. Finish. 5 seconds. I'm done. 5 seconds. Listen, take the 2 weeks to go through the ebook. I'm going to show you the easiest way to do these problems. I'm telling you. So instead of spending months and months in school where your teacher's going over the same thing over and over again, then you're going to start over in 8 weeks. And it's going to frustrate you to death. I'm trying to show you the easiest way. Look what I did. Once I chose -3, I know -3 is the answer. None of the other multiple choice have -3. I'm done. But let's check the other one just to make sure. Let's check the other one just to make sure. 8 store x, x squared minus 5x minus 24. Did I get 0? That easy. Are you kidding me, Mr. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yes, it's that easy. You just saw, I just did it. And it took 15 seconds. Well, Mr. Tinsley, I'm never going to be able to do it in 15 seconds. Well, if you practice, you do. If you practice, if you know how to store a variable in your calculator, if you know what an equation is. Well, Mr. Tinsley, what if they have something like this? X squared minus 5x equal 24. These are the same exact problem. What you have to understand is whatever you put in as x must be equal on the other side. So watch this. So I'm going to do -3 again. -3 store x. But this time, I'm not putting x squared minus 5x minus 24. I'm only putting this front part. X squared minus 5x. I need it to be equal to what?
24.
Bam, done. 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 Hold on, Mr. Tinsley. Hold on. But you said storing a variable. Learn how to store my calculator. Yes, because that will help with evaluating the algebraic expression. It'll help you with evaluating the function. And if they give you the multiple choice, I don't care what the equation is. You can now plug it in and get the answer. I don't care if it's a volume problem. I don't care if it's an area problem. If they give you the answers and you know the formula, you can plug it in. Boom. So that was A. Boom. Let's try another one.
Okay.
Look at that.
I wish
Okay,
I could see.
Mr. Tinsley, I can't remember how to solve or factor a quadratic equation. But do you know how to multiply binomials? So what you should notice is that I can't remember how to factor this quadratic equation, but I know how to multiply binomials. P times P is P squared.
It's Q squared.
P times -4 is -4P.
Yeah.
-16 times P is -16P. Oh, well, I'm done with that one because when I combine these terms, that's -20P. I'm looking for -16P. Can't be A. So if I know it's A, the only difference between A and B is the signs. So I know 16 plus 4 is 20. So my middle term is going to be 20. Can't be that. I know P minus 8 squared is P minus 8 times P minus 8. So let's do it. P squared minus 8P minus 8P plus 64. Combine like terms, P squared minus 16P plus 64. That's what we want. My answer. Bam.
That's it right there.
Wow.
Listen to what I'm telling you. Take the 2 weeks to go through the ebook. Now, do you have to do every lesson? No, you don't. Start with, based on your practice test or your most recent exam, the ones you got, the area of the concepts that you got incorrect the most. Like I would start with linear equations. I would start with quadratic equations. Whatever you had wrong on your practice, then use that. Go to that ebook, learn how to do these questions quickly and accurately. Like literally, like watch this. I'm gonna show you one more. And let me see if I can find one. Let me find one. Let me find one that's crazy. That's really crazy looking. This one right here. Watch this. I'm gonna show you something. Watch this. Okay. And you're going to get a problem like this. Listen to what I'm telling you. You are going to get a problem like this. Look what it says. Let me make it bigger. Factor. Oops. I don't know what just happened. I just made it bigger and it went smaller.
Okay.
Okay. So look at this. Watch this. Factor 2x squared plus 3x minus 2. I am not going to waste my time trying to find the factor pairs of minus 40 and trying to do it. What I realize is
Oh my gosh.
I can use my multiple choice. So when I use my multiple choice, I'm going to go 2x squared plus 8x
Mm-hmm.
minus 5x.
5x.
Hold on, but that's not what I wanted. My middle term, well, that is 3x, so I'm good
Yeah,
there,
it is.
right?
Mhm.
Okay. And then, oops, let me
You gotta
scroll back
do-
down. I got to scroll back down. Hold on. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
So I then minus 5 times 4, minus
It's
20.
20. Yeah.
2x squared plus 3x minus 20. Is that what I wanted? Is that what I needed? Yes.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
that's what you
done.
needed. That's what you needed.
I'm done. So again, I'm giving you tips because this is what they wanted you to do. Let me show you how they wanted you to solve. This is what they wanted you to do. They wanted you to say, okay, 2x squared plus
Mhm.
3x minus 20. My A is 2, my B is 3, my C is negative 20. Since A is not equal to 1, I got to factor A times C. A times C is minus 4. The factor of the factor pairs of minus 40 going to take you all day. But I'm going to do
Mhm.
40, 20, 10, 8,
8,
6,
5.
7. So those are your factor pairs.
5.
Mr. Tenzi, how do you know that? How do you know all that so quick? Because you should know your multiplication tables.
5 times 8. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you should know your multiplication table. You should know your up to 12 times. You should be able to do 100 questions in 5 minutes. Okay, watch this. So now you're going to reverse plus 140 plus 2, negative 20, 4, negative 10, 5, and negative 8. Remember, this is much harder. This is what they want you to do. I need to find a pair that's going to give me 3, which is right there.
Yeah. Mhm.
But when A is not 1, this is a much harder problem. This is what you have to do. 2x squared plus 8x minus 5x minus 20. Look what I did. I took the minus 5 and the minus 8 and put them right there as the middle term. So instead of having plus 3x, I used those two numbers to make 3x. But
That's
then I
what
had to
it is.
rearrange them because I got a factor by grouping. So here, the greatest common factor for 2 and 8 is 2.
Mhm.
X squared and x is x. So I got x plus 4. Then here, I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to take out minus 5. And I got x minus x plus 4. Since they share a factor of plus 4,
Is a
I
minus.
can combine those. So I get 2x minus 5
Mhm.
times x plus 4. Now, I don't know about you. I don't want to be doing that on my GED exam. Because
Me either.
now for me, your instructor, it took me 3.5 minutes to do that problem. How long, if it took me 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, how long is it going to take you?
10.
So what I'm telling you to do is when you get this problem that says factor this quadratic equation, know how to multiply your binomials.
It's much simpler that way.
It's much simpler that way.
Mhm.
And that's what I need you to understand. This is why the ebook and the Schoology will get you in the mode of practicing so much. When you get to your exam, these problems will not fluster you. They will not intimidate you. And you're going to finish 30, 40, 50 minutes ahead.
Oh, I got to do that.
All right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Any
sir.
questions before we leave tonight?
I left you some in the chat, Mr. Tinsley. It's Brandy about the link to Schoology. Still can't get into it. Maybe it might just be me. I'm not sure.
All right. So hold on after class real quick.
Okay.
And I'll walk you through it.
Okay.
Okay? Any other questions?
No.
Everybody have a wonderful night. It's been my pleasure again. If you have the test coming up, make sure you schedule your one-on-one so we can do them one-on-one. Remember, to pass is 55 to 58. If you on Schoology getting 60s and 70s, you are almost ready to go.
Mm.
Okay, don't be intimidated because you got a 6. My exams are going to be harder than the GED exam. So when you get to your GED exam, it's going to seem sweet.
Oh, good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. See y'all.
Thank you so